Hello, Husky families. Welcome to our 2020 virtual version of our eighth grade parent night. I'm very sorry we were not able to do this in person this year. I think we all look forward to the time when we're able to do that again, but hopefully this will be something that's useful for you as we begin the process of welcoming our class of 2025 to North next year. I want to first bring everyone's attention to our school website. This is going to be a helpful tool as everybody kind of sits down with their kids and kind of figures out what they would like their student to take as far as their classes go. We're going to start the enrollment process Tuesday, December 1st. More information on that will be coming. That's kind of what we're going to go through today and see what we can do to help with that process. My name is Mr. Mitchell. I'm the ninth grade counselor here at North. My fellow counselors include Ms. Carter, Mrs. Merritt, Ms. Buckner, and Mrs. Razor. And as your students become sophomores, they're going to branch off based on the last name, the letter of their last name, and stick with that counselor for the final 3 years at North High School. For any student or for any parents that might be watching this whose students go to a private or parochial school, please contact Mrs. Stillwell here at North to set up a meeting so that we can get your enrollment process started. As we go on to discuss here, for any students that are at North Junior High School, we're going to be doing our online enrollment Tuesday, December 1st, like I mentioned. If you have any students at North here, or if you're familiar with the process at all in the past, we have sent home an enrollment form for students to fill out. Parents sign it, send it back. Just given the circumstances, we have shifted to an online enrollment form this year. I really hope it's something that you're going to be able to use and be able to take advantage of this year, and something that we can kind of work with the students on as well to make sure that they've filled it out correctly. You're still going to have that opportunity to sit down with your kids and discuss what the classes are going to be as you make those choices for next school year. This is a screenshot of what the enrollment form is going to look like when the kids first get it. You can see some of the cells are red. Those are required cells, and I definitely want everybody to kind of pay attention to the drop-down boxes. Those are going to be what you use to make sure the form is filled out correctly. And then, like for instance, this cell phone number, you can just type directly into that cell right there. As students work through this, which they're going to do with their homeroom teachers, these boxes are going to start to turn green. And some of these yellow boxes will as well. Those are not required, but they may be ones that the students might have to select as they go through it, depending on what their classes are that they've chosen. Here's a little bit more info if you're the type of person that would rather read than listen to me talk. But as students work through this and as they start to pick their classes, they're going to go through each cell. It's going to start to add up how many classes and how many credit hours they're going to be taking. And when they get to a complete schedule, this cell right here will turn green. At that point, they're going to have a chance to choose a couple of alternate electives, which we'd really like them to do in case there are any scheduling conflicts. And then this box down here, which was not shown in the previous screenshot, is for parents to sign off on to make sure that we know that you've seen what your child is taking, that you approve of it. And if you have any questions or any concerns about your schedule, there's a space provided right here for you to leave me any feedback. One thing I want everyone to pay attention to as well, we do have the typical enrollment form that we've done in the past for your own purposes if you would like to print it. I know it's easier to kind of see all of them laid out. So if you would like that, this link right here will take you to a form that you can print out, or you can just look at it. And then one other thing to notice as we start to work through it, different satellite programs are going to, if you select them, there will be some links that pop up over here. So just remember that for later in the presentation. So after you've completed the top, whether you've added your phone number, chosen whether you are have aspirations of playing college sports or whether you're a 21st century scholar, the first choice is going to be your diploma path. Um, Students that are college bound, um, looking to get the standard diploma, are going to select the core 40. You can see some of the requirements for that. We also have an academic honors diploma. The main thing to keep in mind as a freshman is that students are required to take 3 years of one language or 2 years of two different languages. And they are also going to need to take two fine arts credits at some point in their high school career. Doesn't necessarily have to be freshman year, but at some point they're going to need to do that. There are more requirements down the road. That's not something for freshmen to worry about at this point. We also have a technical honors diploma path. This is more for students who are interested in some of the college and career prep courses, such as some of our technology courses, engineering, business, different classes like that. And then some students may also earn both academic and technical honors, depending on the classes that they take. So if your student is one that maybe is already taking a foreign language and still interested in that, but has plans of going to the tech center at some point, taking some engineering or business courses, they may end up qualifying for both, and that's going to be an option for you as well. As I mentioned before, the satellite programs box is going to have the 4 different programs available. So the Medical Professions Academy, which is at Central, the Shepherd Law Academy, which is at Harrison. Our JROTC program is also at Harrison. And then our Early College High School, which is at Ivy Tech. More information can be found at these websites, which, as I mentioned, will also be on that form if you select those programs. Students at this point should be in the applying or have already applied to that. I know that you probably have not heard back yet, so please just select that option if it's something that you're interested in, and you think you're going to be in that program. After the satellite selection, we're going to get into the classes. First one being math, next one being English. Math and English classes have been suggested based on data by our department heads, and it's been cross-referenced with your child's teachers to see kind of what they're capable of and what they think would be best. But at the end of the day, parents and students are the ultimate decision makers in which class your student takes. For math, there's a prerequisite for Algebra 2 honors. Your student should be in Algebra 1 right now as an 8th grader. For Algebra 1 Advanced or Algebra 1, that's just your preference if your student is in Math 8, whichever one you think would be best for them. For English, for the ELA options, there are no prerequisites. Students that are already in English 8 honors probably going to want to stick with that. But we do have 3 different options. We have the English 9 honors, we have English 9 advanced, and then we have the regular English 9 class. So you have some choices there as far as that goes. Again, this is going to be recommended already, but you have some say in that. If you disagree with the recommendation, you feel like your child needs to be pushed a little bit more, by all means, we would love to see that. For your child's science options, any students that are going to take Algebra 2, it's encouraged for them to take physics just because those 2 courses go hand in hand so well together, and they combine a lot of the same skills that you're learning in Algebra 2 that will go along with physics. If your student is going to be taking English 9A, it's recommended that your child takes biology. There is no necessary science class as a freshman because there are only three years needed. But if your student is interested in going to college, once they graduate high school, it is definitely a recommendation to take one of those 2 courses, or even the earth space science would be an option as well. For social studies, the two options are U.S. history or U.S. history honors. As they progress, there's going to be some more options once they become a junior for some electives. World history will be taken as a sophomore, and then government and economics will be taken as a senior. All freshmen are recommended to take PE and health, with the exception of any students that might be going to MPA. MPA students do not have to take health. It is exempt based on what they're taking through the MPA program, that they do not have to take health. So that is an option on the enrollment form, but please make sure that you've already at least applied. And I know you probably have not heard yet, but at least have applied to the MPA program if that's the option that you choose. Um, as mentioned earlier, for academic honors, world language requirements are a big part of that because they have to take 3 years of one language or 2 years of two languages. We offer French, German, Japanese, and Spanish. And some eighth graders are currently in French 1 or Spanish 1, so they'll have the option of taking French 2 or Spanish 2. Otherwise, the other options would be German 1 or Japanese 1. As we move further down, we start to get into some of the electives. At this point, you're going to want to take note of how many classes you've selected. A lot of students may already have 6 courses selected if they've selected a science and a world language. So there's only going to be an option for 2 one-semester courses or 1 year-long course. And as you make those selections, those are noted with a 1S or a Y. And it's going to be important to pay attention to the number at the bottom. When that turns green, it's going to notify you that you've got a full schedule. And at that point, you're going to want to choose a couple alternate electives. Our business and marketing offerings include Intro to Business, Prep for College and Careers, and then a Digital Apps and Responsibilities course, which is a college credit course through Ivy Tech that kind of introduces students to the Microsoft Suite programs. For our Family and Consumer Science department, we offer Nutrition and Wellness, Intro to Housing and Interior Design, and Intro to Fashion. Some of our tech classes and engineering classes include Construction and Transportation Systems, Intro to Design Processes, Intro to Transportation, Intro to Manufacturing, and another college credit course, Intro to Engineering Design. Students that are going to be interested in the Career and Tech Center as juniors and seniors should strongly consider some of these courses, as they are prerequisites for some of those classes and can help them get into those programs when they do decide to apply. Some of our fine arts offerings include 2D and 3D art. I mentioned Intro to Fashion and Intro to Housing and Interior Design earlier, but it's important to note that those are also fine arts credits. We have beginning choir, band, jazz band, flag corps, orchestra, theater arts, and advanced theater arts. Theater and advanced theater are both one-semester courses, but a lot of times they're combined to make one full year course. So if that's something you're interested in, please be sure you select both of those options. Any students with disabilities will have an IEP. Students with an IEP will have the same form look-wise, but they will be assigned a form that will have different options for them to select their general setting classes. So they may be in a gen ed classroom for one class, or an inclusion setting or a resource setting. They are probably not going to know what they're in. So the special ed coordinator at the junior high, Ms. Wilson, is going to sit down with those students, make sure that they have selected the courses that match their IEP, and they're going to be able to just go through and pick their electives, whichever ones they prefer. So they'll have a little bit of support as far as making sure they get in the right courses, but they're also going to be able to check the ones that they want to take. As we go through this process, the the main thing for parents and students to focus on is what you're doing to prepare for yourself academically in the future. Um, this is something of AP classes and dual credit classes are courses that are offered as juniors and seniors. And then now we, like I mentioned, a few for freshmen dual credit courses. These are classes that are going to be challenging and rigorous, and they're also going to help students kind of take care of some of those college credits before they get to college, which can save a lot of money in the long run. Um, as parents right now, you're going to want to try to push your kids to what they're capable of, so that whenever they get to be a junior and senior, these are some of the classes that they're able to take. Um, AP courses, the main benefit is the opportunity to earn that college credit. The GPA is weighted, so it can help boost GPA, and it's an opportunity to stand out in the college admission process. Um, Very similar to the same benefits as dual credit. Um, these can be taken in high school and count as college credit, and they're offered through USI and Ivy Tech. Most of these classes are going to be 3 or 4 credit hours. So the USI courses are going to cost anywhere from $75 to $320. But you'll get those college credits, and they'll be able to transfer whenever they go to colleges. And most of these transfer to schools outside of USI or Ivy Tech. Um, Students who are on free or reduced lunch would get those USI courses for free, and all of our courses that are run through Ivy Tech are free for all students. Some of the AP courses that are offered at North include some art classes. We have different science classes. We have some high level math classes, English, history. As the foreign languages start to get up into the 4 and 5 level, those become AP courses as well. And we offer some a psychology, AP Psych, and an AP statistics class that can be very popular for our students. Um, our dual credit offerings, again, include some of the higher level math classes, English classes, our government class, which is called We the People, which is also an extracurricular activity where students compete um, in a civics competition, um, potentially at the state level. We also have some engineering courses and some computer graphics courses that are offered on more of the tech side that you won't see through AP. Again, as I mentioned, as you're going through your courses this year, the main thing that you're going to want to do is prepare your student for these opportunities when they get to be a junior or senior. Students are going to have at least a 2.5 GPA. The more challenging courses that they take, the more well prepared they're going to be for these as they become upperclassmen. Um, and especially with dual credit and AP, keep an eye out the fall of your student's sophomore year, because those opportunities are going to become more common. I want to thank everybody for joining me. Um, if you have gotten to this point and you have any questions, please feel free to call me. My number is 812-435-8283 with the extension 55017, or you can email me at any time. It's drew.mitchell@evsck12.com, and I look forward to meeting all of your students.